Good evening. It's 8 o'clock. The top headlines tonight. 3 approvals in one day of 2 new vaccines for India and an anti-COVID pill. Covovax by USA's Novavax is one of the vaccines. The other is a made in India Corbevax. Also, anti-COVID pills by Merck are cleared. Will the 2 vaccines now be used as booster shots for the elderly and as teenager vaccines? A huge spike in numbers, 1,377 cases in Mumbai. That's nearly a 70% rise. Delhi is 496 new cases, the positivity rate of 0.9%. A yellow alert is announced in Delhi. The curfew will now be from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. Schools, colleges, cinemas all closed, and Karnataka's night curfew also to begin tonight. Sourav Ganguly and Derek O'Brien are amongst the prominent people who tested positive today. Luckily, both are mild symptoms. India battles COVID, but our COVID warriors are also beaten. Resident doctors go on strike today against manhandling by the police yesterday. The doctors are protesting a delay in exam counselling. The health minister meets the protesting doctors, says the case is now in the Supreme Court. I can't do anything. India announces its COVID curbs, but none for netas. Rallies, road shows, marathons, all in the UP campaign just today. Thousands at rallies with no masks or no social distancing. This as less than 30% of people are fully vaccinated in Uttar Pradesh and Punjab, both going to the elections. Well, as our top headlines just showed, COVID cases rapidly shooting up in our major cities. But India has now cleared 3 new weapons in a way in the fight against COVID. All the 3 approvals coming today. Vishnu has the details.
Well, let's bring you the details of what we actually know at this stage. Now, it is a very big day in terms of the fight against COVID. The vaccines which have been cleared include Covovax, known as Novavax internationally. It's being manufactured by the Serum Institute of India here in India. It's presently being exported, in fact, to the Philippines and Indonesia. So they've got a stockpile of it already. The second vaccine is largely indigenous. It's called Corbevax. It's a protein subunit vaccine. It's made by the Hyderabad-based firm Biological E. Finally, there is Molnupiravir. That's an antiviral drug made by the pharma major Merck. It will now be manufactured in India by 13 companies for the treatment of adult patients who have a high risk of progression of the disease. Now, a decision on the rollout of the vaccines, Corbevax and Covovax, as a third booster will be taken in days. Now, that's really breaking news. So, if you have received, for example, 2 doses of Covaxin, you could get a single third dose of one of the new vaccines which have been granted emergency use authorization today. This would therefore follow the global practice of mix and match. However, the booster policy not yet out, so maybe we shouldn't get too ahead of ourselves, but this is being considered. In fact, both vaccines are also being considered for pediatric rollout. In other words, a rollout for children, because they've been tested on children in trials as well. So how effective are these vaccines? What do we know so far? According to Novavax, the designer of Covovax, it's about 80 to 90% effective against Delta. Remember, Omicron didn't come out when the tests happened, and also against previous variants, 80 to 90%. Corbevax is believed to be 80% effective against Delta. Remember, these are claims by the manufacturers. Significantly, both can be stored in 2 to 8 degree temperatures. Now, that's of huge consequence for us here in India where it's warmer. Finally, the new antiviral drug Molnupiravir. Now, it's being manufactured here in India by 13 companies. Its efficacy, though, underwhelms. Per the latest reports, it's at 30%. Now, in terms of doses, the way it actually works is 4 in the morning, 4 at night over a 5-day course. The expected cost, ultimately, less than 400 rupees for that full course.
Right, and thanks so much, Vishnu. So those are really important, and it couldn't have come any sooner because 2 new vaccines now, this so that perhaps booster shots mix and match from Covishield, and of course Covaxin also approved. But remember, Covaxin hasn't been able to supply the kind of doses which are needed for India's population. So let's just look at what the latest COVID numbers are. Now, overall in the last 24 hours, now these are numbers released by the Health Ministry this morning. We're at 6,358. That's actually down 2.7% from the day before. Deaths are 293. The vaccinations today are over 61 lakhs. That's also down. Tests are up 7.5%. So that's good news. The daily positivity rate is 0.61%. That's down also slightly. But the big worry is that how Mumbai and Delhi's cases are shooting up. So, for instance, in Mumbai, in the last 24 hours, the cases have now over 1377. That's just in Mumbai. The cases have gone up 70% in the last 24 hours. And you can see Maharashtra's average daily cases spike in 2 weeks. So, there we are. We can see just how much Maharashtra's numbers have gone up. Now, look at Delhi. Now, again, Delhi's cases have shot up in 2 weeks. In fact, Delhi's cases are now rising higher than they have in the second wave. They're now rising actually higher in what could potentially be a third wave for Delhi as well. So just look at how fast they've shot up, and just in the last 24 hours, Delhi cases are now at 496 cases. That's already up almost double from the cases yesterday, which is why the Delhi Chief Minister announced a yellow alert today, basically shutting down the city with all markets and shops now being odd and even.
Crowds with many unmasked and little social distancing, even as the Delhi government announced tighter curbs. COVID cases in Delhi have increased by 166% in just 2 weeks.
थोड़ा सा दुख होता है जब देखते हैं मार्केट के अंदर इतनी भीड़ है, मॉल के अंदर इतनी भीड़ है, तस्वीरें आती हैं, वीडियो आते हैं और इतनी भीड़ में किसी ने मास्क नहीं पहन रखा। अगर आप अपना ख्याल नहीं रखेंगे तो फिर कौन रखेगा? ये तस्वीरें नहीं आनी चाहिए बिल्कुल भी कि मार्केट के अंदर इतने भारी भीड़ लग रही है, फिर हमें मार्केट बंद करने पड़ेंगे। वो तो अच्छी चीज नहीं है। 2 साल के अंदर इतनी बार पाबंदियां लगी कि आप सब लोग थक चुके हैं, लेकिन क्या करें, जरूरी है।
The yellow alert in Delhi now means that all educational institutions will be shut. Cinemas, gyms and spas will be shut as well. Restaurants and bars to shut at 10 p.m. Curfew will now start at 10 p.m. and end at 5 a.m. Public transport will operate at 50% occupancy. Weddings and funerals will be capped at 20 people. Non-essential shops in markets and malls will open with odd-even formula. Weekly markets will open at 50% capacity. Gym owners are lamenting yet another shutdown.
In the last 2 years, we have already suffered a lot. We were already under a burden of debt. Now with this lockdown, definitely this industry is going to die.
On the day that Delhi has gone into yellow alert in light of the highly transmissible Omicron variant and rapidly increasing cases, this is what the famous Sarojini Nagar market looks like. It is still crowded and some people are still unmasked. But things may look different very soon. The national capital is bracing itself for the third wave. Omicron may be playing a significant role in this. A genome sequencing lab at Delhi's Institute of Liver and Biliary Sciences, part of the INSACOG network, say that they sequence around 100 samples a day and have detected a very sharp spike in Omicron cases.
In our own experience, we have seen the Omicron cases to rise from 2 to 3% to around 30% of all the positive cases, and it is bound to increase in coming days. It is tipped to become the most predominant lineage in India in coming days because of the simple fact of its manifold transmissibility.
In light of the rapid increase, the Union Health Secretary also met with Chief Secretaries of States today to review preparedness for an Omicron-driven third wave. With Mohammad Mursaleen, Meher Pandey for NDTV.
So we're seeing the cases shoot up as latest city figures coming in, and in Karnataka and Bengaluru, the night curfew begins from tonight. That will cover the whole New Year's period. And also from Mumbai, Saurabh joins us, where we've just had cases going up to 1,377. So first, let's just go across to you, Saurabh. So Saurabh, worrying numbers coming in there from Mumbai, 1,377, which is actually almost half that of the entire Maharashtra. What's the latest on what's happening? Of course, the curfew there is also from 9 p.m.
Absolutely, Mumbai has already put in certain very strict norms, too strict, many argue, but obviously authorities say that this is necessary because we are seeing an exponential rise in cases. Now, what this means is that 9 p.m. onwards, everyone goes home. Now, we are at a popular hangout in Mumbai. There are crowds, but I must say I've seen majority of the people here wearing masks. Only a few rare exceptions to the mask up rule here in Mumbai. So that's one good thing perhaps. And sometimes the mask of course come off for photos. But otherwise, generally, people seem to be in masks. And this is, of course, at any given day in any public space, you would see these crowds. But this is also a very popular destination for tourists at this point. This is for New Year's, and all of this shuts at 9. So basically everyone goes home at 9. So no parties during the New Year in Mumbai, no gatherings of more than 5 people. And the police and the BMC are going to keep an eye out for any of those secret parties on the rooftops that people may tend to organize. At the end of the day, restrictions have been put in place. Many argue too strict, but authorities say they are necessary.
Right, and those crowds are pretty high considering the numbers that we are seeing there. But thanks so much for that update. And Shrija, over to you in Karnataka, where the cases are less in Bengaluru, but again a tough curfew coming in and cases there rising as well.
Well, though Bengaluru reports very less cases, but it does take the major chunk of the state, because today we are looking at a daily average anywhere it hovers between 300 for about 450. Now, this has been the scenario over the past 7 days. Though we have not seen a considerable spike in the cases, COVID cases in the state, the government in the next couple of hours, at least in 1.5 or so, the state will go into curfew, which will start from 10 p.m. It will go on till about 5 a.m. Now remember, this particular curfew will remain active for a period of 10 days, which means till about January 7th. And also what's important to understand, in the next 1.5 or so, there are going to be arrangements that's going to be made. You can see it right behind me. There are people who are trying to rush back to their home because of the curfew that's going to come in place in the next 1.5 hours. And also the police are ensuring that they're trying to barricade the flyovers to in fact ensure there are no traffic, especially on certain major arterial roads here in the city. So that is one part of the restrictions imposed by the Karnataka government. The other restrictions that we're also looking at is especially the restaurants, hotels and pubs. Now they will be allowed to operate with about 50% of the seating capacity starting from December 30th to about January 2nd.
Very tough restrictions coming into place really for citizens, whether it's in Karnataka, whether it's in Maharashtra, whether it's in Delhi. But guess what? Apparently COVID is only a virus that comes out at night, because in the day we're seeing political rallies in election states, whether it's Uttar Pradesh or Punjab, with thousands of people. No one has masks on, there's very little social distancing, but somehow there are no curbs which these rallies actually attract. So just look at these pictures today. And from the Prime Minister to Amit Shah, Akhilesh Yadav today of the Samajwadi Party back on the campaign trail after his wife and daughter tested positive last week, and the Congress organizing a girls' marathon. So again, as we see, thousands, hundreds of people, because rallies by day, curfew at night. And remember, both UP and Punjab, both election-bound states, only have 39% of people fully vaccinated. So the politics continuing at these rallies, it's almost as if COVID doesn't exist. So here are the Prime Minister, Amit Shah and Akhilesh Yadav all sparring on the 200 crore raids found in a UP businessman, Piyush Jain, in Kanpur, with the Prime Minister saying that there are links to the Samajwadi Party, Amit Shah saying that, and Akhilesh Yadav saying there are links to the BJP.
बीते दिनों जो बक्से भर के नोट मिली है, नोट, उसके बाद भी ये लोग यही कहेंगे कि ये भी हमने ही किया है। 2017 से पहले भ्रष्टाचार का जो इत्र उन्होंने पूरे यूपी में छिड़क रखा था, वो फिर सबके सामने आ गया है। लेकिन अब वो मुंह पे ताला लगा के बैठे हैं, क्रेडिट लेने के लिए आगे नहीं आ रहे हैं।
कि नोटबंदी, इनकी योजना जो फैसला लिया था, वो योजना इनकी फेल हुई है। आखिरकार नोटबंदी का असर देखिए आप, आज भी नोट मिल रहे हैं। जिन्होंने ये कहा था कि नोटबंदी हो जाने के बाद कहीं भी काला धन नहीं होगा और भ्रष्टाचार खत्म हो जाएगा, तो आखिरकार इतने बड़े पैमाने पर पैसा कैसे निकल रहा है?
So that political sparring continuing. Meanwhile, the Board of Cricket Control President and former cricketer Sourav Ganguly has tested positive for COVID. He is currently in the Kolkata hospital, the Woodlands, and his sample has been sent for genome sequencing to check if he has the Omicron variant or not. Mr. Ganguly is said to be fine and stable according to the hospital. In a statement, they've also said that he's been given monoclonal antibody treatment. Also today, Trinamool Congress MP Derek O'Brien has tweeted that he's tested positive as well. He said he was very careful and he just has moderate symptoms, so he is isolating at home. We wish them all a speedy recovery. Well, as India gets ready to hit a third wave, perhaps, here's what's happening to our COVID warriors. They were actually beaten, manhandled by the police yesterday as they're on strike, asking that their exam counselling, now this is the exam counselling for the NEET exam, the medical entrance exam, be held on time. This is a case currently the Supreme Court, but the doctors are saying that the government needs to act on this fast. So far, talks have failed and they're still on strike. So those visuals from yesterday of the police versus doctors, Sonakshi. So apparently the Safdarjung doctors have just said they will not call off their strike, that they want more assurances from the health minister.
Well, that's right. The Resident Doctors Association and several resident doctors across Delhi medical colleges in the national capital have been protesting. Their basic demand is the demand of a counselling date with the NEET and PG counselling. In addition, they have also demanded an apology from the Delhi police for allegedly what they say manhandling of some of their doctors, both male and female, while they were peacefully protesting. Now, today we have been showing you visuals of that protest taking place. I am at the Safdarjung Hospital right outside the emergency department, and this place was packed with those protesting resident doctors all through the day. It was also raining. The update right now I will give you is that the meeting took place with the health minister earlier today. Representatives of the Doctors Association met with the health minister, and they have decided, the health minister has assured that he will take into consideration their demands, and he has assured that he will definitely look into the matter. So that conversation, that dialogue has taken place with the health minister himself, which doctors say that they had received that invitation from the health minister himself. Now the latest is that the resident doctors are having a meeting amongst them. That meeting just took place a short while ago. It ended a short while ago, and they have decided that the strike will continue till further decisions are taken. But for now, I can tell you, at the moment, this entire day, this spot was filled with those resident doctors protesting for their rights, and they have just decided to continue with that strike till further decisions are made within themselves.
Thanks, Sonakshi. It really is shocking to see how we are treating our COVID warriors. They've worked long hours, they've risked their own lives, and now we may be getting ready to go into another wave with these same doctors. In fact, they're saying they want to get those qualifications so they can actually help out.